Crypto Visionary to level 3. Crypto Visionary to level 3. Bay 13 is now available for loading. I repeat, Bay 13 now available for loading.
Hello, everybody. All right, let's get this party started. Let me do this. Let's get Instagram going. Go live. Okay. I think we're live on Instagram. I think we're live on everything else. Cool, cool, cool. Just waiting for everything to kind of spin up. But I hope you're all doing well. Happy Wednesday. I'm on a streak. I've gone 2 streams in a row now. We're doing good. So, today, let me pause the music real quick because it's kind of like distracting. Today we're going to be continuing the live speaker tutorial. I know I kind of skipped a week, but stuff happens and it's okay. But I hope you're all doing well. We're going to go ahead and get rolling into this here in just a minute. But yeah, I hope you're all having a good week. I know I've had a busy week. I'm finally getting back into the groove of like posting stuff because like it's been tough, man. It's been I've been busy. I've been quite busy. So I'm happy to be getting back into like some form or some semblance of a routine. But what we're doing today is, if you guys remember, we did a live stream about 2 weeks ago. We did a speaker live modeling tutorial. We got pretty far with it. I'm actually going to move this over to my other monitor. Did pretty good. Built the entire speaker body out and everything like that. So we can just kind of shift this out of the way and you can see everything we did. So that's about as far as we got. And remember, you know, speakers are pretty simple, so we're not really too stressed about it. But that's that. What we need to do now is we need to start kind of structuring this a little bit. So let's get some music going. And we'll get onto it. Let's see, like that. Got to use the royalty-free stuff, DMCA-free stuff. And if you guys didn't know, all of my streams, the music is always white bat audio. It's just the easiest for me to work with. But he's an amazing musician if you like that sort of stuff. Good morning, MSing. How are you? Let's see, nice timing. Just got a chance to sit down. Always nice to have this on in the background while modeling. Nice. Good to see you, Tamuzu. All right, so here we are. This is what we're working with. So I know from last week, there's some stuff I got to adjust. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this inner ring here. I'm going to deselect all this junk. We don't need it. And we're going to scale that out just a tad bit. It's going to kind of clash a little bit, but I need the space. Let's do this actually. Hold on, Shift I. Let's do this. Kind of need all of this to go. So let's just do all of it. Okay. Let's scale. Oh, that's why. I was like, why is that scaling so weird? I want to make sure I'm not scaling out. But I do want kind of that going there. This is going to be a little messy for a second, but that's okay. And just realign everything. Okay. And then we're going to take these and just slightly pull them. This is going to mess up our topology for a little bit, but not for long. Okay. So let's go ahead and show that again. You selected. Okay, so now I've got the space to do what I want to do. What time is it on my side of things? It is 7:13 in the evening. Did you use a boolean for this round shaper in the box? No. So that was all extrusion and just kind of manipulation of geometry. I should put that out there. If you guys want to follow this tutorial series, but you're not necessarily caught up, there is a first video that is on my YouTube channel under my live streams. So this whole series will be just kind of like a live tutorial. I'm not editing it, it's just all raw. Okay, so I need to do this like center ring. So what I'm going to work on here is this guy. So this piece right here. That's what we're going to go for. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in a new cylinder. Rotate it. And go -90. And then we're going to snap this to the center of the speaker because that's where it needs to be. Make sure you snap it first because once we do this, you kind of won't be able to unsnap it. Let's see, I think that's right. That appears to be correct. Yes. Okay. Cool. Now, this is a pretty simple shape, so we don't need a ton of topology. But what we, oops, let's not scale that so far. But what we do need is we need it to be not solid. So we're going to extrude that in about to the edge of the speaker. A little bit further in, actually. Right about there. Okay. And then pull that in. Just pull it in just a tad bit so you still have enough room to put these together. We're going to go ahead and just slap that together and we're good. Let's see. Do you know Wall-E? I'm working on it and completing almost one. Nice. Yeah, I love Wall-E. That's a great movie. Elite Archer, what's up? How you doing? Good to see you, buddy. You're always new here, every single time. Never fails. Okay. So, what we need to do is we need to... Wow, I can't really speak today, so I'm sorry if I keep stuttering. So we're going to take this top ring, and we're going to just kind of scale it out a little bit to give us that nice dip. It should be good. And then we're going to go ahead and support this, because that's kind of all we have to do with this. It's very simple, very easy. With this top one, though, we're going to add a little bit of gap right there. Just because it's more of a rounded corner, it's not super, super sharp. And then the back we'll just kind of call good. Okay. Escape, and 3. Alright, so with that smoothed, we should have a nice kind of cover for that. It sticks out a little bit. And I think we need to shift the whole speaker back, actually, at this point. What? Oh, somehow I selected my camera. How the hell did I do that? That's weird. Alright, cool. There we go. Check your DM. I will send you. Okay, I'll check it after stream. How are you doing? I'm doing good. I'm doing real good. Vivix, where are you from? United States, in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Okay. So this actually needs to be kind of scaled out a little bit. So we're going to do that real quick. Okay. It's okay that that kind of clashes with this because we haven't smoothed it yet, but we're kind of getting the idea here. Alright, so not hyper worried with like modeling the little clippy pieces and everything because it just doesn't really matter. But the other thing we need to do is we need to kind of restructure this a little bit. So I'm going to go into symmetry mode, and we're going to go up here and just turn on topology, click up here. I'm going to take this, I'm going to move it so it's flattened against this. Should be the same on both sides. It is. We're going to look at it in our top view. Just make sure we didn't really mess that up at all. Looks like we did. Yeah, so let's just align it real quick. That way it's straight. Okay, cool. So it takes care of that part. Alfonso, hello, how are you? How's stream been going, Lead Archer? Okay. Cool, cool. So, we've got that going. Now, we got two things we need to build here. We need to build the tweeter, which I think we'll build next, and then this little cover plate for the tweeter. So let's go ahead and work on the tweeter. So this is a weird speaker because it's square. The back of it is very like simplistic, and then really it's just like your standard little tiny silver like dime speaker. This is actually probably a better rendition of the way it looks. We can see how our wires connect to it, so that's really good. Let's see. Yeah, no, otherwise that's pretty solid. So let's go ahead and fill that out. Albuquerque's gonna get cold soon. I wish. I really wish. It's been hot as shit lately. Okay. So we're gonna build the cone. And I'm gonna center this right here, because that should be right about where I want the speaker. Look at the shaping on that. That should be good. Okay. And we'll just kind of collapse that. So, to make this piece, what we're actually gonna do is we're gonna pull this out. I'm gonna duplicate it just so I have a placeholder in case I move anything. But I'm gonna delete most of this, because I'm gonna have to pull this through and then just kind of rebuild this piece. So turn off symmetry, otherwise you're gonna deal with that. This is gonna kind of create that frame. I'm gonna, oop. I don't know why G's not working, but that's okay. Go ahead, scale it in. And this is kind of, it kind of curves. So we have to be really careful with what we're doing here. All right, so that should be good. Now this terminates in a circle, so we're gonna go mesh, edit mesh, circularize. Make sure that's all good, lined up. That should be fine, not a big deal. And then we're gonna delete it. So, in order to kind of fill this out now, we're gonna look at some of this other shaping here. I'm on Texas, you better there. Texas sometimes gets pretty cold snaps. I hope we get cold soon, because it has been ridiculous. I think today was like, yeah, it's like 70 outside right now, which is okay, but... by the way, thank you so much for the tips that you give on Maya. It's been super helpful for me in school. I'm glad it helps. I really am. That's awesome. I love hearing that. Okay. So, we've got our little speaker piece. I'm going to actually extrude that one more time, just to give myself a little bit more stuff to work with there. Okay. So, next thing is we're going to take this. I'm gonna retopologize this a little bit. So I don't like these corners and the way they work. It doesn't give me a whole lot of room to work with. So I'm actually gonna take them. I'm gonna do Control Delete. I'm gonna get rid of them. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna go Mesh Tools, and we're going to insert an edge loop right there, and right there, right here. And right here, don't worry about placement right now, it'll be okay. I'm going to delete this half. Let's look at this. Okay, so we know this is what we got here. So we go edge, select those guys, scale them in together so they're similar. And then we want it to meet up with that edge right there. That gives us a nice quad. Okay, same thing in the side view. I'm going to take this, take this. These are actually just going to get aligned, because we don't really have to worry too much about them. Okay, so those should be good now on all sides. Cool. Let's see, hold on a second. For the curvy surface, you could insert an edge between and scale down and then bevel. Yeah, we will be doing that. All right, so now that we got that, let's go ahead and just get this quadded out. So we're gonna go to Mesh Tools, Multi-Cut. Just cut there, cut there, cut this, cut that. Beautiful and beautiful. Okay, cool. The reason we do that is it just gives us a little bit more room to work with when we're doing our supporting geometry, so it's just something I like to do. Oh, I missed half of it. Oops. Face and delete. Alright. Mesh Tools, we're going to go to Mirror. Bounding Box. Z, I think we're working in. Oh no, Z. There we go. Cool. Alright. Beautiful. So, good there. So looking at our image again here, so we do have those nice curves, so we can do that bevel now that we were just talking about. Let's check in chat real quick and go ahead and bevel that. We're going to add a segment. Let's change the fraction a little bit there. That should give us that kind of curved edge. So if we smooth that, you can see how we get that nice kind of like divot. So now we just need to worry about all this geo up here. We can fix that real quick though. It's not a big deal. Okay, so we've got that. So I'm actually just going to delete this half again, because why not? This, I'm leaning towards allowing that to stay there. Maybe I shouldn't. I'm thinking I should circularize that one more time. So we'll fix this back one first. So we'll take this. Let's see. We'll do that last, actually. Let's go ahead and clean this up here. So we have a triangle here, which is not the worst thing in the world, but I would like this to just kind of end. So thinking about this, what we could do is we can, let's first just get rid of all these. We're just going to do one because we'll just mirror this. What does the bounding box do? It just depends on how Maya is handling the geometry itself. So sometimes you'll use bounding box, sometimes you'll use like world, depending on how your scale is set up. So bounding box just is how this is set up right now. So that's just how I fix that basically. Okay, so to make this a quad, Mesh Tools, let's see. I'm gonna go boom. I'm gonna go boom. That gives us a nice little 5-pointed end-gon. And boom. Okay. For a 3D artist, that is the general pipeline down to deliver a complete model games. Wait. For a 3D artist that has the general pipeline down to deliver a complete model for games, would you say is missing to jump to an environment artist? It just depends. Like, it depends on, like, if that's what you want to do, then yeah, of course. That's kind of like a personal choice on like what you want to do as an artist. So if that's what you want to go for, is like going from like a regular modeling, like hard surface or organic modeling, then moving up, you could, totally could. Owl, what's up? Mr. Blazing Man, what's up? How you doing? Okay, we are indeed working on the speaker today. All right, so this is me cheating a little bit. I'm going to go to mesh. We're going to go mirror. We're going to go in the Z direction. That fixes that one. Oh, hold on. I lied. Z direction, bounding box. Okay. We're going to do it again. I'm going to go back to bounding box. Y. Negative. Alright, cool. So that gives us that nice little speaker cone. And the rest of this we can kind of work with and clean it up. So, we'll take this inner circle here. I'm going to go Mesh Tools, or Edit Mesh, and Circularize again, just to clean that up, because that's what we want. We want that nice clean circle in the back. extremely drained. Learned that my supervisor takes more energy from me than I thought. Oh, that sucks. I feel that though. I definitely feel that. That's definitely a bummer though. Okay. What's up? How you doing, Al? It's good to see you, man. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is I want to just add some curvature to this. So again, we are going to bevel this, I think. Let me see how this is going to work. Yeah, this will work out. So we're just going to kind of reduce the fraction a little bit there, just to give us that nice kind of indent. And then the only other thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull that in a little bit, pull that in a little bit. Because when I smooth that, I want to make sure it looks like the, yeah. Perfect. Okay, so we've kind of pre-planned everything. Everything's working. What's up, Z? How are you? For real, she acts like I'm part-time when I'm registered as a student worker. Oh, damn. So she's like abusing you. That's no fun. That's not good. Alright, so let's look at this. So what I want to do is I have a nice rendition of the back here, which is actually kind of perfect. So we're not going to worry too I don't know. Should I do all the little holes? I don't think I'm going to worry about all the little holes. But let's go ahead and support this up a bit. Mesh tools. Oh, you know what? Actually, we screwed up a little bit here. So let's think about this. Because the problem is now, and I'll show you guys. So if we go to Mesh Tools, Insert Edge Loop. So I'm back to dragging edge loops like this, which is fine. But the problem is that to support these corners, I have to do this, which is going to dramatically screw that up. So we're going to try this and see if this is going to work. Actually, you know what? That's kind of perfect. Hold on. Yeah, it's got that sharpness to it. Alright, we're not going to worry about that then. We're going to just... We're going to go select this, this, and this. I'm going to bevel. You're going to turn off the chamfer. And then just... Got to fix that, but that's okay. We're going to just change the fraction a little bit here. Okay. Same thing here. That actually might be okay. I don't think we have to worry too much about that. Nah, it's pulling a little bit. So we'll just recircularize this. So if I smooth that now, get a much nicer look. So Mesh Tools, Insert Edge Loop. So we're going to just add that outer support ring. Already have one there. Let's turn this off so I can actually see what the shading looks like. Yeah, that's actually kind of perfect. Cool. Beautiful. Hello, Madness. What's up, man? She will rue the day. How you doing, Madness? It's good to see you, buddy. I just closed my chat window. There we go. Okay, so once again, we are back to this point. So what we're gonna do is we're going to just do one more extrusion here. Go back to regular mode. Alright, so now let's go ahead and take the back here. We're gonna extrude this inwards, I believe. No. See if we can do this with extrude. Yeah, this will work. Okay, so that's fine. So what we're doing now, just so I can update you guys again, we're doing this back portion. So should be as simple as just extruding it and kind of rebuilding it. Not really super stressed about it. But I want it to be thinner, just because it kind of it thins out. It's very thin plastic. I'm well, thank you. Yourself, maybe a little distracted with dinner. Distracted? Don't be distracted. So my folks had some food. How was you? That's good. That's good, man. How was seeing your folks? I'm doing great. I'm a little tired today, but I'm doing great. Let's line this up. Guys, don't forget, if you are trying to follow along and you're having a hard time on like Instagram, there are other platforms you can watch us on. I live stream on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. So don't be afraid to jump ship and jump on one of those platforms. I'm going to go ahead and just extrude this out. Just trying to keep this like even, so I don't have to worry too much about it. Just want to keep nice even spacing. Good there. Okay, one more extrusion. And then this one gets circularized. So we're gonna go boom. So from here we'll go mesh tool or edit mesh, circularize. Shouldn't affect anything crazy. We just make sure it didn't pull. Now we're good. Okay, so we're going to extrude that one more time. Make sure you set it to world. Make sure this is all lining up here. Okay, cool, beautiful. Select that edge, select this edge, and bridge. And there you go. You have a weird speaker part. Why not select all the faces, flip faces, and extrude everything? I mean, you could. I don't know. I just find that way a little bit easier. But yeah, that's totally an option. The other thing we're going to do is mesh tools, insert edge loop. So we're going to go boom here and boom here. A little bit of additional support there, and then we're going to extrude this inwards. We just don't want it to come through. But this is like that little plastic dip in the back of it. So we're worrying about some details, but not all details. Okay. So mesh tools, insert edge loop. I'm just gonna add some support up here in this corner. Right here, right here, right there, and right there. And then we want to make sure this outer edge stays nice and sharp. That should all be good now. We'll come back here and just add a little bit of support here. And in here. You don't have to eyeball this. You can use the bevel tool if you want to. Okay. So that gives us that. And so normally I would complain about this pinching, right? But if we look at our concept art, or our reference art, there's actually some pretty bad like mold pinching back here, so it's not something I'm going to stress too much about. Which is kind of nice, because I stress about that way too much. Let's look at this again to make sure we got the right shape on the back cone. We do. So there's a couple of different pieces that have to come together here. These little speakers we have to build now. How to maintain topology. It's literally just, it kind of comes down to both learning how to do it and then like understanding how you want your edges to flow. Like it's not really something you can say like, this is how you do this. Like you can look at examples of it. And there are examples of how to terminate multiple loops. There are examples on how to clean things up. But a lot of it comes down to just practicing. And you'll get better at it as you go. Doing well, just watching some YouTube. Nice. Jumping? Who said anything about jumping, Z? I didn't say anything about jumping. Move this over here. So these are these little, like, dime-like speaker things, so we're gonna just move this back into place since we didn't really have to change anything there. Let's make sure it meshes up with the body here. Okay, cool. It's pretty good, except it's sitting a little low, so it needs to go up higher. We need at least a pretty solid gap in between there. Yeah, that's good. Okay. And we're gonna kind of do this interior speaker box part, so don't worry about that. But right now we're focusing on the speakers themselves. So let's turn the wireframe back on so we can just kind of pay attention to what we're doing. All right. So looking at this, okay, so I see what they did here. So there is an exterior portion to this, and we're going to make it real quick. With the pinching, it took me forever to realize it's something you can actually leave and do deliberately on things, and it occurs IRL. Yeah, no, it totally does. Like, that's the thing. So pinching obviously, like pinching on like curved surfaces, that's problematic. But pinching like in general on like molded metal, molded plastic parts, like that is a natural occurrence. So it is okay to leave it sometimes. What are we making? This is a live tutorial series on how to make this speaker. All right. So let's look at this guy. So this one's a little bit different. So there is the little dime speaker, which we can model real quick. It's just a little cylindrical plastic thingy. So let's go ahead and just pull this out. Rotate this 90 degrees. Scale it. I don't really have anything to snap it to, so we'll just kind of eyeball it a little bit here, but it should be okay. Okay. So I'm going to compress that, because I don't really have to do anything else to this. Like, it's really not that complicated. So we're going to take these, we're going to delete it, go vertex, and then if you don't have this tool, you will have to manually do this yourself. But if you want this tool, it's available on Gumroad and ArtStation, I believe. It's just quad fill for Maya. I am going to add an inset though. Quad fill hole, and we'll add it again. Quad fill hole. All right, he's got to pay $2 for it. I was wondering if there's something you could do about the fact that when I try to zoom into my models, it kind of goes through the geometry and I can't close enough on my... Yes! Okay, so there is something for that. So what you need to do is you need to select your camera. And then there is a... Let me see here. Didn't say the magic word. Let's see, where is it? I might be wrong on where the setting is, but I know exactly what the setting's called. Where is it? Oh, that's the scale tool settings. Hold on a second. Alright, here we go. So, field, output settings, special effects, display options. I know it's in here somewhere. Hold on. Has to do with the clipping distance. I haven't had to change that for a long time. Oh, here you go. The near clip plane and the far clip plane. I know you probably can't really see that on Instagram. Let me move this over a little bit, just so you can see it. So if you can see that now, so this near clip plane and this far clip plane, just increase this number. Just go to like, what is that, 20,000? Yeah, go to like 20,000 or 30,000. That'll usually fix the issue for you. Okay, redo the quad fill hole. So all I did was you select this little vertex up here. And here, I'll just redo it for you. So you select this vertex, you hit this tool up here. Now again, you may not have this tool because this tool is one that I bought, but it's available on ArtStation, and then just quad fill. No problem, Vix. Yeah, that's one that I had to deal with a lot when I first started out because I didn't understand how that worked. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna just kind of just build this out. So we're just gonna extrude this in. I'm not gonna worry too much about this being separate pieces because it's so small. That I'm really just gonna kind of pull it out. I'll leave that a little bit larger because when I smooth that, that should look pretty good once I support it. So this does have like a little rubber ring gasket around it. It's almost kind of like perpendicular to the speaker, so we're gonna just scale it a little bit. So we'll leave that there, and then we're going to create just a little outer shell here. This will give us the little speaker itself. So let's go in here. So again, if you want to manually support your edge loops, you can. If you want to use your bevel tool, you absolutely can too. I will do this example with the bevel tool just because I know a lot of people get mad at me for not using it. But it's just personal preference. Just turn off chamfer. That should fix everything. If we smooth that, we should have a nice little speaker. Let's turn off wireframe so I can see what I've got. Yeah. a little bit. I'd like to curve that a little bit more. So let's take these. We'll just control or tab paint them. I'm gonna pull that out one more time. And just kind of do that. That should smooth enough. This is always the pain with doing this. So, okay. So we'll leave that for right now. Pop this back in here. And let's shape this little plastic piece. So the next thing we're doing, after we get this like seated in, so we'll put that like, it needs to be a little bit bigger though. Okay, so we'll do right there. The only other thing that I think I'm forgetting, there's a whole back portion to this, so we'll have to kind of do that. But the beautiful thing is, I think that's kind of it. Let's go ahead and just do that real quick. So we'll just extrude this in and just create this little plate. This doesn't matter too much. It's just a plate to hold a screw. Okay. Got our little speaker in there. So what we have to do now is I want to focus on the front of the speaker. So we're going to model this little piece in here. There's this little cross piece, a little cross plastic piece, and I'm looking at my speaker. And what you can't really see in here, you can kind of see it. There's this curvature. This curvature is like another piece of plastic that kind of helps divert the sound. So we need to get that modeled in. Hey man, great videos. How you been doing with Unreal? You like it so far? I love it, Samuel. Thank you for the compliment on my videos. Yeah, I love it so far. I'm having an issue getting my ship in Unreal. It's a very strange issue, but I'm still trying to figure out what it is. But otherwise, yeah, I'm excited to use it. It's going to be primarily used right now for my next project that I'm finishing up here, hopefully by the end of October. So I haven't done a ton with it, but I like what I've done so far. Okay, so we got that. So let's go ahead and build this. So this one's kind of funky. And I think the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to pull a sphere in here. I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. Let's see. And so I need some deformation is going to be okay, but I need at least some, oh no, wrong one. A little bit more available geometry. So we're going to go 40. Just that way I don't have to screw with anything too much. Alright, so we're going to delete this. Okay. And again, we're kind of creating that little cap cone thing in there. Delete that, delete that. We can just select all of this and just kind of extrude it in. This is like a transparent piece, so not super stressed about it. Okay, and I'm looking at it just to make sure. Yeah. Okay. So we need kind of just like an even point on here. So let's do this actually. Let's delete that. I'm going to cut this in half. So it should be perfectly in half. Let's see. Well, I'm out work tomorrow, night crew. Alfonso, have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. All right. So we know 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll go about 5 here. So on the 5th one, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these will be kind of our extrusion points. We're going to extrude that out. And then I'm just trying to figure out kind of how they did this. Actually, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to deselect because it looks like this is what they did. This is kind of a weird piece. So there is that point. I'm going to thin it out. I'm gonna go extrude again. Extrude up and close that. Okay, so the way this thing works, at least from what I can tell, is if we extrude this out, there's a little bit of like a hook back here. I want to make sure it's doing that everywhere. Okay. Okay, that's fine. And then the next part here is we got to get this extruded inwards. So I'm going to pull it out. Do that. Oops. Hold on a second. Alright, cool. So pull it out again. I'm going to rotate it and just hope to God it works. It does look like it's working, so that's nice. Okay. I'm going to take these, extrude them in, and those should meet up in the center. That's the hope anyway. And we just need to kind of fix that up a bit, so that's cool. All right. Haley, what's up? How are you? Good to see you. Let's go ahead and rotate that, because we are going to place another cylinder in here. Okay. So what we're going to do, and actually I'm kind of thinking there's a little bit, so okay, so this needs to actually get, hold on. Getting ahead of myself. Okay, so we're gonna go mesh, mirror, go back to bounding box just because that's the way my project's set up right now in the Z direction. Maybe it's not object. Okay, so we're object on this one. That's fine. Okay, cool, perfect, beautiful. So we've got this kind of opening. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna delete these faces because we don't need them. Hello, owl, hello. Just dropping in quick to say a quick hello. Haley, it's good to see you. Thank you for dropping in by. I hope you're doing well. I know you're probably in school right now, right? I started doing digital drawing, Haley, so that might be something that comes to my channel soon too. In fact, I'll give you guys a little preview. I just did some shading testing today just to kind of figure out how to paint with this. I'm using, what is this software called again? What is this called? Krita. It's very nice. It's my first time doing anything digital on the computer, so. School again because of, oh, no school because of typhoon? I mean, aside from the typhoon, I guess that's cool. Alright, so let's go ahead and get another cylinder up in here. Rotate this. Is the typhoon doing a lot of damage, Haley, or is it doing alright? Negative 90. Oops. 90. There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to isolate these two. Oops. Okay, that's about centered. Okay, so looking at this, this is actually perfect. So what we're going to do is move this into place. We're going to delete these. Actually, hold on. We're going to do this. We're going to go Mesh Tools, Insert Edge Loop. Go boom, boom. Now we're going to delete those faces. Delete. Okay. So looking at this, let's select these guys. I'm going to save real quick because it's been a minute. I'm going to go to Mesh, Combine. This is going to make them one shape. This is also one of the strangest shapes I've ever had to make, so that's fun. We go to our modeling toolkit and we're going to do target weld. So we're just going to target weld everything together. You want to make sure you're target welding the arms to the actual body of the diverter, I guess it's called. I don't know what it's called really. Just a signal number 2 kind of type of. I have no idea what that means, but if you sound calm about it, then that's good. The closest thing that we get to a typhoon here is a hailstorm, so we don't, like, where I live is kind of cool because we don't get a lot of, like, natural disasters or anything like that. We don't really get any. So that's kind of awesome, so I don't know how any of that stuff works. Okay. Beautiful. So, the last thing we need to do is just, again, you're going to quad this out. So if you have to do this manually, do it manually. That's okay. There's absolutely no issue with that. I just have a tool that makes this a little bit faster for me. And then I'm going to do this without the inset. And same thing right there. Okay. I'm going to take this one. I'm going to deselect this back piece. We're going to leave it flat because it's just extruded plastic. Like, it doesn't really matter. And it comes to a point. So... kind of like that. So if we smooth that, we got that nice look. We do need to do a little bit of supporting here, though. So what we're going to do is we're going to go Mesh Tools, Insert Edge Loop. I do want to retain this shape as much as possible, as well as this. And we can even add in some edge loops to this. Don't think that'll destroy anything. I'm not worried about UV stretching on this piece because it's going to be clear plastic, so you won't notice any issues with it like that. And then we will also add one here and here and just see how that looks. Okay, so that's giving good stuff. The only thing I'm not liking is the pinch that we have there, so this I don't like. So what I'm going to do is I think I can just get rid of that. No, that makes that worse. Well, no, I can do this. So Mesh Tools, Insert Edge Loop. See how that worked. That's better. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so we'll do the same thing over here. Alright, so that should look pretty good. Gives us that shape that we've got. The only other thing I'm going to do here is I'm just going to save myself a little bit of time and cut this in half. And then I'm just going to mirror it. Mesh, mirror. I think object is what we're doing. Y, negative. Okay, cool. So we smooth that and it looks pretty weird, but it works. Alright, so the only other thing I'm noticing here is there's like a slight... So this piece actually is kind of smaller and it comes out to kind of like a curve like that. So let's go just add a little bit of support in here. Again, you can do it manually, you can do it however you want to, just make sure it's supported. The only thing I'm not super thrilled about are these rings going through here, and I think I'm going to get rid of them. They are kind of screwing my shape up, and I'm not okay with it. See, that's a tough one, because if I get rid of them, it screws up that. Honestly, it's so small we're not going to notice it, so I'm not worried about it. Kelsey, hey, what's up? Oh, we make turbines. Nice. The most we get here is fires and lots of fog. Fog is cool. We don't get fog here very often. It would be nice to get more fog. How you doing, Kelsey? It's good to see you. Alright, so we're going to scale this in and move this in place. We can actually go ahead and unisolate everything. And then we're just going to center this right there. Perfect. Turn that off. And I can't really tell what this actually like attaches to. So this is going to be just kind of floating here. But that gives us that nice little plastic detail. So next, there's a little like fin thing back here. So we just finished up this piece. So we need to look at the back of the speaker. So there's two things going on here. There is a plastic plate that goes around the speaker body itself. And then there is this little fin thing that I'm not too sure what the hell it is, but we're going to make it anyway. So let's go ahead and make the housing for that. And all I'm going to do for that is I'm actually just going to duplicate this because it's the perfect shape already. So we'll go Mesh Tools or Edit Mesh, Duplicate. Pull it out. And then we're going to extrude it. And then Mesh Tools, Insert Edge Loop. We'll go right there. Extrude out the little plastic lip. That's what I say. What's up, JLSXT? How are you? What's the speaker for? The speaker is for a live tutorial series. Looks dope as hell when you can see the mountains. I'm sure. I'm doing good. How are you? I'm doing good. I'm tired today, but I'm doing good. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and move this in. That kind of fits perfectly around it. I closed my PureRef scene again. Okay. So, this has some individual brackets to it, which I'm not going to super stress about. I really am more concerned about this little pinwheel piece that we have here. So we're going to go ahead and model that as well. And I'm going to just extract again from here. These are things that necessarily, yeah, you don't really need to worry about them. And I'm not going to go too far into like the internal details on this, but I do want to add a little bit. I do want it to have like that, you know, that like explodability. We're going to duplicate that, pull that off. Whoa, sir. What happened there? Oh, I double selected. My bad. Okay, so go Mesh Tools, nose is itchy, duplicate, pull that off. Alright, select the entire thing, extrude it. So we need to make this little pinwheel now, which it's pretty simple. Looking at this isn't going to work this way, so I got to make a new cylinder, unfortunately. But that's alright. Rotate 90 degrees, go up here, we're going to snap it directly to the center. Perfect. Alright. Turn off your snap when you're done with it. Alright, just scale that a little bit. So we're going to change this guy up to 40. Yeah, it should be okay. And we'll come back and make the screws later. I'm not super stressed about those right now. What does this part do? I have no idea. Let's just turn off keep faces together. We're going to do this extrude. Go ahead and scale them a little bit. Kind of want this to shoot out of it like that. Cool. That's perfect, actually. So we'll take this, going to extrude that inwards, and then boom. Yeah, we'll leave our screws to last. So I'm imagining we'll do one more modeling stream, and then that'll kind of move over into UVing. I am going to UV this in Rhizome. So when we get to that stream, if you don't have Rhizome, there is a free trial that lasts for like 45 days or something like that. So you won't be left in the dust. I recommend trying it because it saves a lot of time. Okay. So we've got our little pinwheel thing here. Still don't know what this does, but we're going to go ahead and just add our supports to it and call it good. Probably has something to do with like sound reverberation, but I have no idea because I'm not an audio engineer. And so that's kind of annoying. So what we're going to do is I'm going to select these edges. We're going to go to Select, similar and hope to God it works. And it actually did, for once in its life. And we're just going to create a little bit of an edge loop up here. Okay. 3. Cool. That gives us that that nice additional support there. And then really just for like quality of like look, I'm going to just do this. Tools, insert edge loop. Okay, cool. So this just sits on the back of the speaker. Again, no idea what it does, but it's there. It's a little large, so we need to scale it in a bit because it just ever so slightly hangs over that. Okay. And then we'll model that screw later. Okay, so that takes care of that. The only other thing that we really have to worry about here... Oh wait, did I make that too large? I did. Hold on. Yeah, it sits over that. My bad. So the other thing we got to do is just make the little plastic plug tines, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, I can steal from this. So this is something I'll do a lot. I'll just take something I've already made and steal it and move it to another piece. This one's going to need a little bit of tweaking because it's not bent 100% the right way. But much easier to do that than to have to model the entire piece brand new. The only thing that sucks is it was kind of rotated in a weird way, so we got to rotate it flat again. Shouldn't be too terrible. Doesn't look like it will be, actually. I just want this like top part to be as flat as can be, which is I think right about there. Okay. And then from here, what we can do is we'll just take this. We're going to rotate it.
Do it!
Do it! Yep. Owl.
Just
what's up?
do it!
Gautham, hello. How are you?
Don't let your
morning.
dreams be dreams.
I didn't expect Shia LaBeouf to actually like scare me as much as he does, but my God, man, that thing, when somebody plays that, it scares the crap out of me. All right. And if you guys are interested about any of those little things you see popping up on both YouTube and Instagram, they are redemptions on my Twitch. So, more than welcome to use those. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead. Oops. Let's go ahead and move this up here. This will just kind of sit over here. And you can tell we did not rotate that well at all. That's all right. Just kind of mess with it. Oh yeah, that's no bueno at all. It's okay if it's imperfect because, you know, this is like a manufactured speaker piece, so I'm not super stressed about it, but I do want to make sure that we don't screw it up too badly. Alright, so we'll just move that over there. That creates the little audio tines that connects to. So, I never named those. I never named any of this. That's okay. Alright. So, that speaker has nothing to, you know, connect to inside of the speaker box. So we need to kind of fix that. So what we're going to do is just fix this. We can go right about there. Just making sure that that's still lining up and we're not chewing that up too badly. Okay. So, that's good. And then we need to actually just kind of create a lip in there.
What the hell is even that?
I don't even know, STI. How are you doing, buddy? Alright, so this needs to be adjusted a bit. So let's look at the front view of this. Oh god, I selected something I shouldn't have. Okay. Alright. So we're going to go up here. Skew that in, because this is what we want to connect to, basically. So that's good. It looks terrible. Don't worry. We're going to fix it. Let's go ahead and fix it. Now, does this matter? Not necessarily. But, I don't know. It's a detail that I wanted to include, so we're including it. I'm going to just bridge that across. And we'll merge that together. Cool. All right. Oh, that guy's always coming suddenly shouting. If anyone who sees when they're watching interested in this stream is suddenly he comes, what will happen when they get the fear? I don't know. Don't know, man. I'm all right, dude. Taking a break. Then back to studying. How are you? This is a new project. This is a live tutorial I started last week, or a week ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that. So we're just modeling a speaker. Just a nice bookshelf speaker. It's a nice break. I needed to do something simple in order to keep myself sane, because I've got three very like complicated projects that I'm working on right now, and that's rough. So needed something a little easier. All right, so that speaker's done. We've got it all supported and good to go. So what I think we're gonna do now is work on this little front plate. I just want to make sure that I'm getting the sizing correctly on this, and I think this needs to go up a little bit, which isn't a big deal. This needs to go up a tad. Okay. So ideally, I would just extrude these pieces and call it good, but I'm not going to do that. In fact, actually, I also need to do this. So we're going to take this and delete that. I'm going to just finish this. Because I don't really want that to get all jacked up. Let me smooth that and see how that's working. Okay, that actually did what it was supposed to. It's amazing. Wait a minute. Oh. Shift I. Let's look at this. Okay, I see what happened. So we're going to go ahead and just bridge that. And then I'm going to give myself just a little bit more offset here. So we're going to offset edge loop. Right about there. Go into our front view and then just kind of shape this real quick. Oops. Vertex. So we'll kind of come up. And that just gives us that nice kind of supported piece. So whenever you take one of these apart, if you look at the inside of them, they're not like finished like the outside of the speaker. So this is going to be like a chipboard material. So like if you've ever seen plywood or like really shitty wood, this is going to be what that interior looks like. So we're building this because that's going to be part of the texturing, is we're going to have that nice chipboard interior. Okay. So, pretty solid there. The speaker box is honestly basically done. Minus the little rubber plug holes that we still have to add, but we'll add those. So now, you selected. So we got all that. So we just need to do this plate now. So ideally, what I can do is I can just... I really don't like that that's showing up. Why are you showing up? That's a good idea. I should save. Why? I don't know why my perspective camera is actually showing up. It shouldn't be. Save scene. But it's there. I'm full of those. Sometimes. How you doing, buddy? Okay. My video capture for my camera just like plopped over, so I want to make sure my camera didn't die. Okay, so did I already create the cube? No. So let's add a cube. And then we're going to center it once I subdivide it a little bit. So I do want this part centered. So we'll turn our center point right there. Beautiful. We can turn that off now. And we can scale this to whatever we need. So we know for a fact that it has to go right to the edge. This top part is too high, but we'll adjust that. So go vertex. And I kind of need to watch in both viewports as I do this, just to make sure that I'm matching this. And that's good. Okay. Now we just need to match the curvature of the speaker, which should be a lot easier. Okay. I'm sometimes always possibly full of something. Sometimes yes. Yes. But are you full of zebra yet, Chris? Did you figure out how to get some? For some context on that, I found out today you can actually buy and eat zebra, which is concerning. You did not. Don't lie. My butcher has access. Did you really get some? I am... Get some, no, but you can get some. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Your butcher. That's kind of crazy. It's definitely an exotic meat, like, I don't know, ostrich? Ostrich is exotic, right? Alright, now that we're done talking about exotic meats, let's go ahead and shape this. So you can see we need to do a little bit more there, but we'll just get this basic shape in here, and then we'll refine it as we go. But look at how perfect that matched up. Okay, so we just do an offset here. We're gonna go right about there. Okay, beautiful. So what I need to do now is I need to frame the speaker. So we're gonna do one here. I'm gonna do one here, but what we're gonna do is, because it did that, I'm gonna scale it and then frame it. And then these exterior ones can actually be used to frame that as well. So we don't really have to worry about adding extra edge loops in. Cool. Alright, so we have our port for our speaker, basically. So let's pull this out. I'm going to scale this in because this is a very thin plate. I'm going to extrude that. Delete it. I can see immediately that that did not work the way I wanted it to. I'm wondering if it's just because... I think it's just because of the way I did that. So I'm not going to stress too much about it. My buddy threw a barbecue a while back with some exotic meat retailer. Ostrich is pretty good, big chicken. I watched one guy like smoke an ostrich. And I don't know, it just seemed... It seemed strange. Maybe it was good. I don't know. It seems like a lot. My butcher has connections to a lot of different odd animals. I know a company that I can get certain odd fish meats. I want to try alligator. Alligator, I've seen alligator here before. I hear it just tastes like chicken. Never had it myself, though. Okay, so one thing I'm noticing here is this is curved. So we do need to kind of curve these corners, just these two top ones. So we can work this into the geo a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to add a single segment and just reduce the fraction on that because that's all we need right there. And then thinking about how I want to do this, I'm probably just going to cut right across. So if we'll just go multi-cut, we'll just plop a cut right there. Plop a cut right there. No, that doesn't necessarily work. I might be able to get away with this. Let's try this. I'm going to cut this in half just so I don't have to like do it on both sides. Yeah, that'll still create a quad, so we're okay. So, multi-cut. Just add that in there. You have to do the same thing back here because we didn't. Okay. So if I smooth that, that's fine. Not a big deal. It does smooth kind of strange, but we will kind of play with that and adjust it. Okay. So that's good. So let's go mesh, mirror, bounding box. Need to be in the Z and in the negative. Okay. So file, save scene, we'll do that. Try the jerky version. I've never had jerky alligator for sure. I need to visit Stigma so she can take me to that. Are you gonna go catch your own alligator? It'd be great for stream. Gator wrestling with Tex. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and just support these edges here, or these corners. Kind of loosely. Not super worried about how accurate they are. We're gonna have to adjust some of the stuff that mounts to the speaker body there, but we need to do that because this needs to stay square. Okay, so that's pretty good. So now we just gotta add one there, there, and there. Okay, so what we've done is we have this nice plastic plate, but it's no longer really matching that anymore. So let's go ahead and get this just kind of inserted in. So we know that's where that's going to sit. And then we just need to kind of retool that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just take these verts. I'm only going to do half of this again. Just because it'll save time. Okay. Gator wrestling with text while modeling in Maya. Yes. Harassing me? I'm not harassing you. Why would I harass you? I'm going to go ahead and do a edge slide. Take these verts and just kind of move them up here and move them down here. And then we'll turn off that edge slide and we'll just kind of match whatever we need. Pull that down, pull that down. That should be kind of a nice clean. Let's see how that looks. Pretty. Okay, cool. So mesh tools, insert edge loop. We're going to add a support loop because it didn't. Turn off wireframe to make sure we don't have any weird pinching. We don't, which is beautiful. The only thing we do have is that that's not matching up very well, so let's just kind of pull that in a little bit. Okay. That's good. Let's see. I want a little bit of a gap because there is a little bit of a gap on there. Just a tad bit. Okay, that's pretty good. Cool. Alright, so we'll turn our wireframe back on so we can actually see what we're doing. I'm going to go to Mesh, Mirror, Bounding Box, Z, and negative. And that takes care of that. Okay, so we have our speaker. The only thing that I'm noticing is that I have too much what do you call it, bezel on this speaker. So we need to kind of adjust that. Unless, wait a minute. Oh, it wasn't smoothed. I still have too much, so let's fix that real quick. So we're gonna just extrude or scale that out a little bit. Smooth it. That should look a lot cleaner. It does. We have a little bit of pass through on this rear portion here. So I'm just going to take these and just kind of scale them out a little bit. I just don't want that passing through at all. That should be okay. Alright, sweet. Pretty good. I've made a big mistake. What mistake did you make? What did you do? What have you done? Okay. So that's kind of that. And honestly, that's kind of it for the body of the speaker. What we can do though, hold on. What did you do? Why? Why is it 90 gigs? No, it's... Wait. Backup service content. It's 270 gigs. Ew. No Black Ops. Gross. Okay. Now that I'm done giving Chris shit, let's go ahead and support this. So we're going to go to Mesh Tools, Insert Edge Loop. So these actually have pretty sharp edges, so I am going to kind of support them sharply. That should go through the entire body of the speaker because in earlier streams we planned out our topology really well. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing kind of back here. So that's the only issue that I'm seeing now, which I don't think is a big deal. Let's see. I don't think that's going to be a problem. Nah, it shouldn't be a problem at all. Okay. So if we smooth that, we have a nice speaker body. We haven't supported the inside of that yet, so let's go ahead and do that now. So we got this. So we'll go in here. Just going to go boom, boom. Just give everything as much support as we need. Shouldn't have to worry about a lot of this. Once we're done with this, we shouldn't have to change this at all, honestly. Once we're done with it. So that's kind of problematic, but that's alright. Okay, just maintain that that is what it is. I'm trying to refrain from adding any, like, edge flow to these, because I want to make sure the circle stays a circle. Alright. So that's pretty solid. The only thing I want is I want this outer edge to be supported. So, go like like that. Go like that. Please tell me that's royalty free. Oh, thank God. I almost made a horrible mistake. Let's see this one. Alright. Beautiful. Make sure I didn't miss any messages. No, I think we're good. Oh, shoot, I did. I'm sorry. Sir, can you make a video about graph editors and basics for beginning in Maya? I will have something eventually, don't worry. I'm just not ready to teach that just yet. I like COD Ghost. Oh, Call of Duty Ghost. I used to play it all the time. I played COD up until... God, what was it? Probably Modern Warfare 3 is when I like really stopped, and then I've played it on and off with like the newer ones, but yeah, they're definitely not my favorite anymore. Okay, so the only thing I'm seeing that I really don't like, and I hate that I don't like it, is that there's no support here. So if I go Mesh Tools, Insert Edge Loop, I really do have to add this in here. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, so I'm gonna have to do this. So this kind of this part's gonna require a little bit of retooling. Maybe, yeah, just a tad bit, just because it creates that divot, and so we don't want that divot. So really, this thing is like super well ready to go. The problem is that we've got that little chunk there now. So let's clean that up. So I'm going to isolate this, and this can be a little difficult to see. So what I'll do here, I'm going to cut it in half. And I think it's these verts right here. Let's make sure. Yeah, so it's these ones. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do the edge slide. And just move them up the chain, kind of right into the middle, turn it off, and then just pull it up slightly so we can just kind of maintain that. And now, if we check that, we kind of maintain that circle again, and then we just need to kind of play with that one a little bit, I think. No, that one unfortunately kind of has to stay. Yeah. That one can't be changed all that much. But what we can do to help it is we're going to add an edge loop in here. And then we'll just take these, pull them in a little bit, up. That should kind of help that flow better. It does, so we're good there. I don't think that's causing any weird... Nah, it's pretty clean. I do have a weird pinch there, though, and that's just because I'm missing support there. So we're just going to add it real quick. Pinch is gone. That's all good. So geometry-wise, this is looking pretty flawless. So, except for that, I don't really care about that, though. What I want to do now... I'm going to go Mesh Tools, Insert Edge Loop. So the back of this, I don't know if you've ever popped a speaker open before, has like a little bit of a divot in it. And this divot holds the backing of it together. So you usually speakers are kind of like combined and compressed together. So this divot is going to be where the last back piece or back sheet of material sits. And not super like duper required, but it's a nice touch, I think. If you don't want to add it, you don't have to. Are you gonna low version? Oh, low res version of it? No, not this model. This is definitely just like for portfolio if somebody wants to use it for that. So if you guys want to build this, you can check out the original tutorial. You can check out the current live stream if you're already caught up. But this is just for like portfolio stuff. We're not going to do low res or anything like that. We're adding too much detail for this to be like a low res project, so let's support that just real quick. Okay, cool. That's nice and clean. One. Oops. File, save scene. Let's go ahead and mirror that real quick. Bounding box, negative Z. Boom. 3. Okay. Solid. So there's our bookshelf exterior, or our bookshelf speaker exterior. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. Matt shake. All right, so that's all solid. We're good there. Don't really need to stress too much about it. So what do we need to do for the inside? So I don't think we're really going to model the interior of this all that much. These things are generally kind of hollow. They're usually filled with like fluff. I don't think I'm going to add that in this tutorial though, just because that's a lot of additional work. We might do the wires though. I think we might do the wires. So let's go ahead and add the backing. Let's make sure once again though that everything's just kind of working. Yeah, everything's fine. It just like seems to be behaving a little weird. Just making sure it's still okay. All right, so we're good. The only thing is that my bezel here in the back is not very even. But I don't know how stressed about that I am. I'm really not, honestly. Okay, so we'll leave that smoothed. Okay, so let's go ahead and build the back piece. So we're gonna put another cube in here. Do the same thing that we always do. Just subdivide it by 2 real quick. And then this guy, just try to center it, I guess, right about here. And then we'll scale it appropriately. Okay. So again, this is like a thin plank of metal. So, or wood, sorry. So we'll model this outside of the body here. So what we're gonna do is we need to add the kind of outer, there's an outer, it's like a woofer port. So it's what allows the kind of the air to get pushed out of the speaker. So we're gonna model that in now. So looking at this, it should be kind of above the tweeter. So it's actually going to be really kind of annoying to figure out. So here's what I'm going to do. Let's see, insert edge loop. So I'm going to actually just insert an edge loop. So the center needs to be just above right there. So that'll be okay. An offset needs to be just kind of framing that hole. It's weird. Okay. So we'll go ahead and go to Edit Mesh, Circularize. Gives us that nice hole. I'm going to extrude that in. Delete it. Nope, that's not what I wanted. What did I do? Panels, perspective. Okay. Oh, you know what? There was a secondary camera created. That's why I was doing that. That makes sense. Alright, this guy. Go away. Okay. Now I figured out why that was happening. So this goes right in here. Should fit right in that little lip. Okay. And we're not really done with this yet. There's still some additional hole, or there's an additional hole we have to carve into it. But it's also kind of an inset hole, so that's going to be fun. So let's go ahead and frame that out real quick. So we'll go Mesh Tools, Insert Edge Loop. So it sits right above here. And then we'll call that the bottom. Call that kind of the bottom edge. Top edge. Oops. So what I'm doing here, you'll see what I'm kind of like messing with here. Vertex. Vertex. Alright, so we're going to take these two down here. I really need to be doing this. Guess there's really no better way to do this. We're going to extrude that out, or just scale it out. So we're going to kind of shape this, because it's kind of like a weird half teardrop shape almost. So we need a little bit more support here. So we'll go Mesh Tools, insert Edge Loop. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna grab these again. Just kind of round that out. Same thing here. And then we're gonna do an offset edge loop. I know now that by doing that, I just screwed myself there, so that kind of sucks. That's okay, I can fix it though. Alright. So that kind of handles that. This needs to be pulled down a little bit just to kind of round that out a little bit more. So kind of an odd shape, but we can work with it. Okay. So that handles that. So this is where the little cubby that the actual like exterior plugs will plug into. So we're going to do two things here. We're going to take this. I'm going to tab select everything because we want to maintain that shape. And I don't want to rebuild it again. We're going to duplicate, extrude it, and pop it out in another direction. So we'll just leave that there for right now. And then now we're going to work on this. So this does slightly kind of like sit inside of it. So there's a little bit of a lip. Alright, so we'll go ahead and extrude that. It's going to come in just a tad bit. And there's really not a ton of room to work with here. So what we're going to do is we'll merge these together. We're going to take this interior ring. And this is going to become our little machined lip, basically. So that's where that sits. And that handles that. Okay. So this back piece is basically done. What we need to do, though, is take these guys, just extrude, or just scale them out a little bit, just to even this out. And when we smooth that, that should work. Kind of not great, but we'll fix that. Okay. So let's look at this. We'll support it real quick. Mesh Tools, insert edge loop. We'll go boom, boom. Again, support how you want to. I'm not here to judge how you support. I just like to do it the manual way because it's how I learned. Okay. So, let's see. Let's get some support here. And here. And then we need to get there, get there. Get there. That should hopefully run all the way through to the circle. It does. So we'll support that, and we'll support that. So that should be it. Minus the interior of the circle. Which I don't think I... Did I not merge that? I didn't. Let's merge that real quick. Okay. Mesh Tools, insert edge loop. Go, nope. Come on. Okay. 3. Okay, so that's just a little hole in the plywood. We're going to clean that up a little bit once we get that cylinder built in, but that now gives us the back of the speaker, which is perfect. So let's go ahead and build in that little base port. So we'll add a cylinder into the scene. It's going to go 90 degrees in Z. And I don't really have an awesome way to center that, so we're going to do our best here. Pretty close, I think. All right. So first things first, let's fix this. So we'll go into our view here. We're going to do isolate, vertex 1. Vertex. Okay. So let's clean this up a little bit. So we're going to put these up against the kind of the edge of this. Same thing here. Might pull those down just a tad bit, actually. Just kind of readjusting the way these sit. That way we have more of a unified circle around it, and we almost do. Alright, cool. Perfect. What is this? Can you show the reference? Yeah, so this is just a shelf speaker. The shortcut for isolate is Shift-I. So we're just working on this little shelf speaker. Alright, so we'll turn our wireframe back on, and we're going to model out this little baseboard, which just kind of sits on the back of it. How are you doing, JOSXD? I'm surprised I can actually say that in like one foul swoop. Actually, you know what? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't need to do that. So this is hollow, so all I have to do is just extrude it, and extrude it, and delete it. Alright. So I'm going to merge that. Boom. Okay. So the way this works, there is an outer ring. I'll just add that real quick. It's actually pretty thin, so I'm going to extrude that out. Going to scale it, and then it kind of comes in. So this has like a rounded exterior, but it also immediately kind of curves inwards. So insert edge loop, we'll go boom. And we'll do the same thing here, and the same thing there. So that gives us that nice kind of curvature. I'm gonna do the same thing up here just to kind of like rally that in a bit. Just trying to make that smooth. Yeah, so that's perfect. Okay, so we know that's how that works. That's pretty great. This exterior portion can honestly be scaled in a little bit. And then we're just going to support it real quick. Maya is easy. Maya is easier than 3ds Max or not? I think it is. I didn't like modeling in 3ds Max. Good, man. I'm doing good. I'm doing real good. It's nice to be working on something simple. I started posing the xenomorph last night, and I'm really regretting not modeling that thing posed. Okay. Alright, so that takes care of the little woofer port. We'll just insert that. We want it sitting right on the wood. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. And how is that actually on the speaker? It's glued in because I've had to remove one before and they're not fun. Okay, so this is where this gets a little bit confusing. And it's how to make this shape. No, actually not really. So let's look at this. So what we're going to do here is we're going to be modeling this piece. So we need to create this little inset while also maintaining that shape. Hello, Matt. It's MGX. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Good to see you. You can FK rig the whole thing to pose it. If I wanted to rig and paint the weights on every single little piece, I would. But I'm trying to make sure that all of the pieces actually like are sitting where they need to be sitting. When you ST character in live, Shabinovestri, I don't really know what you mean. Can you rephrase that? Okay, so we're gonna just actually kind of expand that, and I know that's gonna look weird, but give me a second here. I just need to make sure I have kind of a proper bezel. Okay. Just trying to shape this so it makes sense. It's flat at the bottom, so I think I'll add a little bit of curve, but not a whole lot. And then this is where it gets a little funky, because it extrudes, but it has a very weird curvature to it. So we're going to take these faces here, we're going to twist them basically. Line this back up with the inside here. Very, very small lip. And this actually sits pretty strangely. Has a weird shape for sure. Okay. But the rest of this is actually okay. So this just kind of curves out a little bit. Cool. Okay. So these guys we're going to drag. I'm going to do an edge slide, drag them down. Just try to keep the topology clean. Let's see. Okay, hold on a second. Just got a bunch of messages. What do we got here? I mean, ST means starting. Oh, at means starting. Oh, at means starting. So I don't do a lot of character work, and I probably won't for a while. It's something I'm playing with on the outside of things. Hi, I was trying to model a machine gun in Maya, and there's a piece which is cylindrical, and I extruded it a bit and added supporting edges, but after smoothing, the edges look bad. So, the reason that that happens is when you're extruding off of a cylinder, if you don't have enough supporting material outside of it, you have to add that. So with cylinders, especially if you're doing like vertical extrusions on the sides, you need to make sure that there's enough support to actually maintain that geometry. It was a problem that I ran into with my lightsaber. So if you want to kind of figure out how to do that, my lightsaber modeling video in my YouTube is a really good way to learn how to do that. Could just parent hand, forearm, upper arm, 3 bones, move rough to positions, posing. I mean, that's true. That might save me a lot of pain. That would actually save me a ton of pain if I hadn't have done that already last night. But yeah, take a cylinder, extrude it a bit, and show how to do it properly. I know you're busy making the speaker, but if you can show, please. Yeah, give me a second and I'll show you. Hello, sir. I need help. I participated in a 3D modeling and texturing contest in our academy. I saw last year's winner's work, and it's too awesome, and after looking at that, I'm confused on what to make. It depends on what the rules for the contest are. Okay, so you wanted to know how to do that. So if we take this cylinder, right, and if we rotate this by 90, so currently as it stands, what we'll do, I'm going to show you 2 ways. Cancel. Control D. So currently as this stands, if I take, say, a chunk out of this, and if I extrude that, the only direction I can really support that is this way, because it's not going to affect the topology. So I can add all of this support to that cylinder, but I can't do this because this is going to screw everything up. So that leaves me kind of stuck. And then when you smooth that, you can see you get these weird ridges, like things just don't work out very well, and you have no way to kind of fix this. This is bad for UVing because what you can see what is happening is it's taking that face along the bottom edge and it's stretching it across the body. So what you want to do is you want to avoid that. So what we'll do is we'll take this cylinder, and this only applies when you're actually... Really? You got rid of my... Okay, so it got rid of my thing, so hold on a second. I didn't realize it was going to do that. Okay, so this only really applies when you're doing extrusions off the side like that, or holes. So you take your subdivisions, and for something like that, I would probably go to about 60. That's going to give you a lot more support to work with. So if we go Mesh Tools, Insert Edge Loop. And we extrude off of that. We go ahead and add our supports. You can now smooth it, and it's still going to stretch, so you need to like figure out what the ratio is that you need for whatever you're modeling, but that's going to get you to a closer result that you need. So really you just need to increase the subdivisions on your model. Is kind of what it boils down to. Let's see. Tomorrow I will be giving textures to my man. Wish me luck. Hey, good luck. That's exciting. That's really exciting. Let's see here. Give me a second. I need to screenshot something over here. I don't know what that error is. That's weird. Okay. Huh. All right. Okay. So back to this. Are you excited to texture it, Mary Lamb? Okay, so looking at this, I don't have a back view for this, so I'm just kind of like blind here. But one thing I'm noticing is so the way this topology kind of works, we need to kind of fix the way this flows. So let's go here. We need to change that to off. And this needs to be pulled through. So this is kind of weird shape, if I'm being completely honest. But this should kind of give us that curve that I'm looking for. There you go, edge slide, and just kind of move that up a tad bit. Oh, no, we really can't. It does need to be lower. Is it a triangle? No, it's not, technically. Okay. So I smooth that. That actually is kind of perfect. Interesting. Okay. So next thing is we're going to just extrude this. Let's build this piece out real quick here. Oh. Alright, we'll just shape this a little bit better here. I don't really care what the backside looks like, as you're not going to see it. If you do, you're more than welcome to do a little bit more work on this than I am. Okay. But I'm just kind of basically trying to close this out here. Okay. And then I'm just going to quad fill that. Oh, I guess I'm not. Didn't like that. That's okay. Not a big deal. I'll just try to shape this a little bit differently. So the only thing I am going to focus on here is we're going to flatten this bottom edge out, because this is technically where the wires need to connect to. So We're going to do a little bit of shaping down here. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. Okay, sorry, I missed some messages. All right, let's see. Let's see. Good luck. Can't wait to see them come together after working on them from weeks. Yeah, I'm excited for you. That's going to be awesome. Final stage is always the best. Light in the end of the tunnel. Yep. I was so tired when cutting his UVs that I didn't even bother to organize him. Just having to lay out and call it a day. That's what a lot of people do in, like, portfolio work anyway, so don't be bothered about it. Are you texturing in Substance? Yes, I am. The easiest way when it comes to texturing my... Yes, it absolutely is. Are you going to be doing any subsurface scattering, Mary Lamb, or are you going to be just kind of working with, like, basic textures? So I got to think... I think what I'll do is I'll start here and I'll just bridge down. Yeah. I had to think about that for a second. Again, I know this is ugly. I'm not gonna... I don't really care about this part, so... Should look... Actually, it should look fine when it's smoothed. If we're being totally honest. But we'll see when we get there. I might refine it a little bit more. But as long as this interior looks the way it needs to, that's what I care about. And it's got the perfect shape for it. So... let's go ahead and do mesh tools, insert edge loop. We're going to do this and this. And that. That might not actually need anything. I'm trying to think if I should support that at all. No, not really. I don't think I need to. Alright, so let's see what we got to do here. So we're going to do that. Add some support there. We do want this to be kind of like cut. So we'll do that. Should give us that nice kind of... there's a little bit of an issue there. So let's look at this. So the reality is I want a ring going around this. So I need to redo the topology in here a little bit. Yeah, see, that's not right. So let's correct that. With this ring as like our example. So we're going to take this and we're going to extrude it inward. Let's go ahead and pull that through. And I'm going to just come in here and target weld these real quick. I'm going to try to anyway. It's probably not going to let me. There we go. Alright, vertex. Nope, I need vertex. Alright, let's go ahead and target weld. Oh, target weld. Over here. And target weld. Okay, hold on a second. I just realized I minimized one of my chats. Jesus. I'm sorry, guys. Let's see. Sneaking through looking at Blender Lives. Hope your stream is going well. Yes, it's going great. Thank you, Zatani. I'm sorry I missed your chat. Okay, so where are you from? Wait a minute. Great, also learn Substance. Where are you from? Are you asking me, Shub? You're welcome. I just posted it. Oh, okay, perfect. I didn't miss it then. That's great. I'm glad. Well, welcome in. Let me see. Let me catch up on this chat real quick. Where are you from? So if you're asking me, I'm from New Mexico. I'm in the United States. Probably whatever my professor says best. He's looking at a lot of different textures like fuzz, genes, and patterns. Okay. Is he more of a stylized character, or is he more of a, like a realism-based character? Visionary, where are you from? Okay, perfect. You were asking me. Textile patterns can be a bit of a pain. Looking forward to how it turns out. Textile can be a ridiculous pain. I still haven't really, like, figured out how to work with it properly. Try to figure out. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. You got this. And I think you're in the Discord, so if you run into any problems, let me know. I know a good amount of Substance Painter. Fiddling with Blender right now myself. New Mexico. I spent time in Carlsbad. Nice. Very nice. How'd you like Carlsbad? I know that's quite a small town. It's a cool place, though. Mesh tools, insert edge loop. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and add an edge loop here. I think I caught up on everybody. What makes, please make a video on YouTube about character modeling and all its topology. So I don't do character modeling right now. So I can't really make a tutorial on that. If you do want a tutorial on that, there are other artists out there who do that. I am not the best person to come to because I am mostly a hard surface modeler when it comes to that. I'm working on character stuff outside of stream, but you guys won't see it for a while. Okay, so if we smooth that now, look at that. Look at how pretty that is. That's nice. That's real nice. How does Carl fit so many people in his bed? Carl's bad, not bed. Uneventful, visiting my now ex, took a tour of her father's job at the potash mine. Potash mine, that's interesting. What is potash? I've heard that before. What is that? Oh, potassium-bearing mineral. Oh, potash. Potash. Okay, minerals, New Mexico. Interesting. I didn't realize that we had, like, an actual, like, mineral thing out here. Like that. That's cool. Uneventful question mark. Why are so many people gathering for Carl's bat? What's it do? It flies. It flaps in the wind. Let's see. Yes, he's kind of like a cartoon character, so I do want him to have realistic texture. So, okay, so you're doing kind of like, almost like a Pixar-esque texturing scheme. So that's cool. Yeah, I'm excited to see that. Okay, so this is our little plate. Honestly, that back looks fine, so I'm not really going to stress about it. We're going to go ahead and insert that in. And because we use the existing geo, it fits perfectly. So if we turn off our... That's not what I wanted. Turn off that. That looks really terrible, actually. What the hell happened? Okay. I see. Okay. That's fine. That's an easy fix. Let's just reshape this a little bit. It's not from the area for the nuclear testing. It caused a lot of rock salts in the area, blue in color when you get them out of the ground. So that was cool. That is cool. That's awesome. Do you still live in New Mexico, or do you live elsewhere now? Let's see, isolate view selected. I need that back plate. I need to get this shaping right. So we're gonna isolate that. Okay, so if I look at this, I go into my vertex mode. These two need to be scaled in and pulled down. So we'll do that. These two can be pulled up and scaled in as well. Let's see. Never lived, visited. Okay, I'm from Minnesota. Gotcha. Gotcha. I was like questioning because I have a friend who used to live in Carlsbad, and I was like, I wonder if this is this person, but that's cool. If your professor has any normal maps of thread weave, you can scale them down tiny and blend it into material, get a nice effect for fabric. Yeah. Timuzu is the person to know about that because Timuzu is currently focusing, like hyper focusing on like insane, like close-up detail. So that's really cool. Ask him about that. It could have some. The other good place to get some of that stuff too, Mary Lamb, if you're confused, the Substance, they call it a marketplace, but it's all free. Check that out too. There's a lot of good stuff there. As for Blender, I'm trying to turn a 3D file of a D&D mini into a VTuber AVI. That sounds like that's going to be a pain. The mini didn't have an open jaw, so I had to cut the lip and pry open the mouth. Dang. Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be quite a pain, because I'm sure that was probably like built out of triangles, right? I know those usually kind of are. I need this to not fold so much. That's better. A little bit of a sharper cut there. Yeah, that's much nicer. All right, cool. Pretty. We love it. And then there will be screws that hold this in, obviously. So, now we just got to do the little audio plugs, which I didn't really think about, but they're going to be a pain in the ass. So that's fun. It has lots of triangles. Yeah, that's rough. I hate working on projects that are triangles. I'm 3D printing something right now that I wanted to go through and clean up, but when I opened the file, it was scan data, and it was scan data that they dropped the resolution on, so it was like really triangulated and just. I was like, I'm not gonna screw with it. Super novice at Blender, only 4 days in, jumping headfirst into this and googling the process. At the moment, doing retopology. That's good. Yeah, that's probably the best way to start. Is just to retopologize that stuff. That's what a lot of people do. So if you're talking about like triangulated data, a lot of that. Ooh, I just turned off that display. That's not what I wanted to do. A lot of that will end up being like retopologized. Like so, if you do anything in like ZBrush or sculpting, you will have to retopologize that. So that's a really good skill to learn, especially with you just starting. Let's see. Which is your first job? What salary? Suraj Moore. So I don't work in the industry. I work outside of the industry currently. I'm just kind of a freelancer outside of it. And also, most people aren't going to like give out their salary, so that's not really a question that a lot of us will answer. SGI, save. I'll save. Just for you, buddy. Let me hop in your Discord and I'll post pics of what I'm dealing with. Yeah, absolutely. Love to have you. Okay. So, let's do these little barrel plugs, I guess. I honestly don't know how I'm going to do this. This is a shape that I don't know how I'm going to do. So if you've ever looked at these, let me pull one up here. Hold on. Speaker plug. So these look like... hold on. Female. Oh, come on. Give me a good example of what they look like. I actually don't have good reference for this, and that's a problem. Speaker plug. Speaker connector, maybe? No, those are MIDI connectors. We don't need those. Come on. Speaker plug female, speaker side. I didn't think about that as being a problem. Crap. Oh, here we go. That's kind of okay. Actually, honestly, you know what? This won't be so bad because there's threading on the bottom, not all the way through the plug. Yeah, this will be okay. I had to think that through for a second. I heard one VR chat 3D modeler that makes beautiful stuff, but apparently she makes her textures in Clip Studio Paint. Like how? So yeah, a lot of what you can do is you can export your UVs and then they just paint on them. I never had much luck with that because it's a nightmare and blending your seams is impossible. I know it's like people have done it, and like they used to do it back in the day, but it's just kind of an archaic way to do it. A lot of Avatar / 2D is hand painted if you export your UV. Oh yeah, Timuzu just answered that. That's how I thought they made, but it's still impressive. It is actually very impressive to do something that way because like you have to be really good at it. Yeah, I used to do it a lot back in the day, and I was never good at it. And posted. Nice. Let me take a look. Okay, so it looks nice and smooth. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's awful. That's a bummer. Yeah, I wish there was an easy way to do that too, but there really isn't. So, good news is you're on the right path to fixing that. Bad news is it's gonna suck. Here's my final little things. Oh, okay, Mary Bear, I see what you posted. Nice. Let's see. There we go. That's good. It's also not symmetrical. Yeah, when I cleaned up things. Cleaned out the strings, trying to pry open them out. That's good. Yeah. That's rough because it's not symmetrical. So rigging it's going to be a nightmare. But I'd love to see your progress on it as you go. Okay. How are we doing on time? We got 50 minutes left, basically. So we're going to go ahead and build this plug out. Which is I really don't want to. We're going to quad fill this. We are going to add an insert. And then, honestly, I don't know why I just wasted my time doing that because it's hollow. Let's see. Let's go ahead. We're going to scale that in. These do actually kind of have like this lip at the top, so I am going to leave that on that one, but the bottom one I'm going to fix. Okay, cool. The video I posted is just a hinge with the rest of its weighted stuff. Let's see. Okay, yeah, that's better. Honestly, yeah, once you re-topologize that, you might be able to get away with some pretty easy stuff. That's a bummer that's all triangles. It's a cool mini, though. Can we poly paint in Maya? You mean like... yeah, you totally can. It's terrible, but you can. Mostly need to get the mouth in. Need to get... yeah, I got you. So, is like, are you looking at like a full body rig for that thing, or are you just gonna do like mainly like facial animation? I kind of screwed myself here now that I'm thinking about this. Oh man. Yeah, no, I can't do that. Hold on. I messed up. I need way more geo than that, so I'm going to go up to about 80 for this one, because I'm going to have to put a hole through this thing, so I need to have the support for it. Let's see. Probably cam movement, nothing exciting, just some watchers. Okay, I got you. Are you getting into streaming yourself, or? I would assume you are, since you're doing a VTuber model, but you never know. View selected. Why can't I? Okay, that's what I want. This is why quad fill hole is nice, because that would be a nightmare to do otherwise. Already am, just not promoting it in. Oh, got you. I got you. I got no problem with you promoting. That's okay, as long as it doesn't become a nuisance. Let's do this. So that's fine. Again, got to select that, got to bring that down. Okay. Affiliate and stuff already been playing Hearthstone Battlegrounds and doing Blender in the corner and stream between. Nice, that's cool. It's actually really hard to find people streaming 3D on Twitch, so it's nice to find more people. What did I do? I never deselected that, apparently. Okay. So we'll select all this. It's actually just easier just to deselect everything before I extrude this, because there's so many damn faces there. Okay, so we're going to extrude that inwards. Delete that. We're going to merge these. Alright, so the way this works is generally, I need my reference again. It's too thick. So these are generally pretty tall plugs. There is a point where there is a thread, which we'll call it right about there. But there's also a point where there is a hole going straight through this. So we need to start kind of like flexing that out. I'm actually going to move this over here, and we'll work on it. Let's see. It's like I blinked how much has been done. Man, I cannot type today. That's okay. I'm a little fast. I probably should slow down for these, but at least it's a VOD, so you can always redo these. Let's see. But I read that retopologizing can be used to fill the head. So, yes, but also no. So, retopology, right? Like we're basically rebuilding the model on top of the model. So you're replacing what would be triangles with quads. So unless there's a way in Blender, which I'm not sure if there is, to retopologize with triangles, I don't know if that's going to work too well for you. That might cause you a little bit of difficulty. So we're going to extrude this just to give us the base for the plug. And then I need a chunk. Ah, shit. Hold on. It's very important that the inside matches the outside on these. Especially for how we're going to do this. So we need it as close as possible. And then I'm going to add... Whoa, wait. What am I? Wait a minute. Okay. Oh, I see what I did wrong. Okay. Let's move this one down. Okay, mesh tools. Insert edge loop. We're going to add an edge loop right in the center. Same thing here. Okay. So, I need to find my center point, which is going to be right here. So that's my center. Hopefully. So let's get a nice square going. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Would like that to be even. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, perfect. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to come in here. I'm going to drag select all of it. Okay. Let's see. Well, I was wanting to just add the inside of the head and then sculpt into it. And head retopologizing could be used to make good poly. Copy, invert the inside, new head inside. Unless I'm just doing it weird. Yeah, that's kind of a different way of doing it. I wish I knew more about like Blender sculpting tools, because I feel like there might be a way to like rebuild that interior. But because it never existed to begin with, you're basically looking at like having to extrude all of the edges and then combine them somehow. But at that point, you would be extruding them as quads again. So unfortunately, like the way you're going about it is really tough. It would probably be easier just to retopologize the whole model. I don't know. Can Blender quad convert? Hold on. So Blender does have a triangles to quads tool. Oops. So you technically could try doing this. I would save before you do it, but it looks like Alt-J will convert it. Because basically this is the topology you want, right? This isn't perfect either, just because you still have triangles, but if you can reduce the amount, then you can probably work with it a little bit better. That might be the better way to go about that. But I'm not the best on Blender, so I'm not super well versed in it. Okay, we're gonna make these kind of small. I'm gonna go to Mesh Tools and Circularize. Oh my Jesus. Okay. Let's clean that up. I'm gonna deselect that outer edge. I'm gonna re-rotate this interior one. That one actually looks okay. Oh no, there's no center point. Crap. It's okay. It's fine. Wait, what the hell is twisting? Oh no. Damn it. Oh, I hate this. Okay. So basically, we're just twisting these back into place. We'll line them up in a minute here. Sir, could you please check my portfolio? I can. So send me a message with that Sudipita. I hope I said that right. Send me a message on Instagram and I can look at it later. Because I will lose it in this chat. Thank you. Yeah, no problem. You are Mr. Blender himself. What do you mean? Yeah. The Blender community does not like me very much. But I get it. I make jokes. Okay. So we need mesh tools, insert edge loop. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, so this should hopefully just work. If not, I'm gonna be kind of sad. It's probably gonna need a little bit of cleanup. A lot of bit of cleanup, if we're being honest. In fact, you know what I'm gonna do? Hold on. I'm doing this the hard way. Oh, cool. Those didn't match up in size at all. Ooh. Okay. Alright, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm pretty sure this is... Delete. 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 Okay. I'm pretty sure that was... No, that for sure was not. Okay, hold on a second. I need this. Okay. That's better. That's a full half. Okay. We're going to just do this piece by piece. They don't like you because they can't be you. Their leader. I think it would disappoint a lot of people if I went full Blender. Hi, Mr. Cryptic. Hello, how are you doing, Arrow 404? Why is this not matching up at all? Do not make me do this manually. Come on. Is there more topology on the inside than there is the outside? No way. There might be. That would be really unfortunate. I guess I'm gonna have to manually do this. I hate to have to do that, but hopefully that just works automatically for any of you who are following along. No, there's no way. I'm actually kind of confused by what happened here. Because that should be even. Wait a minute. it's pulling an additional... No. That's fine. I'm kind of confused on why that's doing that, honestly. Maybe it'll work better now that I deleted that edge loop. Oh no, God no. Oh hey, alright, that's better, but I'm still having... Why is there so much topology on the inside but not on the outside? That actually doesn't make sense. Because the inside should be the same. There was no additional topology created. Everything should be the same. Unless I just... Oh, wait a minute. Whoa, 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 whoa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, shit. That's why. Dope. Okay. Hold up. So the reason that failed is because I selected too much on the inside. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is it just makes more sense to do it this way. Is I'm just going to select all that. Extrude that in. Circularize. I don't know how I selected more than I needed, but it happened. Yeah, this is working the way it should have. Okay. Try to count. Yeah, that's what I did. I messed up. It's okay. It happens. I am far from perfect. Okay, let's scale that to match that. That's better. We will... Oops. Oh. Well, that was nice. That should match up now. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay. Disaster of... Wait a minute. What the hell? No. Come on. What? That can't be right. So... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... 10, 11, 12, 13. No, I'm still selecting way too many. I should probably just, like, count this before I do this. Oh, wait, hold on. Redo move. Okay, hold on. I think I'm overthinking this a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's what I should have selected. Because this one is 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right, yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, that should be right. I hope, maybe. Let's go ahead and extrude that. Mesh tools. So, sorry for that confusion. Let's see. Let's go ahead and scale that. We'll fix that up a little bit. Okay. The reason why is because it's creating a couple more faces because of the... That's awful. Because of the extrude, and I wasn't taking that into consideration. So now, if this doesn't work, I'm going to be mad. Okay, that's perfect. So we just need to kind of scale that out a little bit, I guess. This is a terrible way to do this, but it's okay. Let's see. Yeah, I was trying it with the tries to quads, wasn't really doing anything. I got you. That makes sense. Okay, so I want to just test this. And I may have to come back into the other version of this tutorial because this is a piece I've never had to make before. So it's a little bit more convoluted than I'd like it to be. But I think I might be able to get this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out how to clean that up a little bit, but this shouldn't be that bad. It's giving us the basic shape that we need. So the bottom down here is gonna be threading. So once we have this top part figured out, it shouldn't be this difficult. I do think I'm gonna have to carry some of this geometry through. So this corner pin, like this pin to this corner, that's not gonna work for us. So I think what I wanna do is I'm going to do both on the top and bottom. Just delete. And I will do the same thing back there eventually. But what we're going to do is we're going to go insert edge loop. And we're going to kind of reface this quad. And do the same thing down here. Okay. So we can see how that kind of helps clean that up a little bit. Still a bulge, but we'll continue cleaning that up and working on it. Really the biggest part is just kind of refining a lot of this and getting most of this cleaned up. So the issue is, though, if you look at this, we created a 5-point polygon. So we'll want to fix that. One of the easier ways to fix that, honestly, is just going to be insert edge loop, insert edge loop. We're going to do a multi-cut right to that corner. Same thing there. And then same thing over here. So that'll give us a bit of a cleaner result. It's just, this is going to be about controlling the topology and just trying to clean it up as best as possible. Why didn't you boolean to make the hole? Because booleans leave a lot of damaged geometry, and I'd rather not focus on cleaning all that. What's this part? This is the little speaker plug on the back of the speaker. Yeah, I was trying to get it. Let's try. Oh, okay. The Tiki approved method. Yes. The bird approves, which means that's the way we got to do it. The other issue I'm having here is, like, I just need to, like, I bet you anything I can do a curve modifier. Let's do a bend modifier. Let's see if this will work. This might work. This might not work. This is totally an experiment, so don't fault me if it doesn't work. I always forget how to use these. Oh, that's right. Let's do, I think I did it in the wrong direction. So we'll go deformer, nonlinear. We will do a bend. Yeah, bend, options box. I might have to come back to this piece. I'm going to have to do a little bit of research on that one. I mean, I could manually do it. That's just kind of a pain. So, Modeling high detail prop and give me 100%, and I give my 100%, but it's still not accurate. I want, please give some advice. Hey, if you can send me what you're working on, I can take a look at it and see what you need to change. You made a creature with a large mouth and no eyes. When you were toggling whatever you were at the edge, it looked like a mouth. Yeah, I know. It's something. I do just wish I could, like... It's like, I know I can do that. And that might honestly help a little bit. This is just me toying with this at this point. I'm not really, like, hyper convinced that this is going to change anything, but it might. I'm pretty sure that's not royalty free. Oh, it's definitely not. Oops. Also, wow, this music doesn't, like, you know, sound like normal music to me. That's why. Alright. There's probably a better way to do this, but I don't have a good option for it right now. I will see if I can figure out a better option for this by the next stream. Yeah, that's just creating more damage. So there's probably a better option for this. I will figure it out by next stream, though. Let's see. Full of royalties, yes. One issue with retopology I'm dealing with is that for the first surface I can add with the B surface add-on, I can use annotation line, but when I go to add more, when having the edge faces selected, it switches to hand-drawn annotation. That's weird. I wonder why it does that. That's strange. I've never done retopology in Blender, so I'm not really super sure how that one works. I definitely have to, like, kind of play with it. Yeah, I hate the way that looks. That's okay, though. We're pretty much approaching time, so we got a lot done today. I mean, like, the speaker's done. We're just kind of working on these little plugs, so I'm going to go ahead and delete all my history and everything. And then I'm going to save it. And then we're going to just raid out a little bit early. So, guys, remember, if you do want to do this entire tutorial, just join the first video in my live section on YouTube. It's there. It's available for you. No matter what modeling application you're using, you can basically follow along with it, so you just need to know where the tools are. But Instagram, this is where I let you guys go. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate you all being here, and appreciate all your questions. Can't talk tonight either. I will respond to those of you who messaged me after stream, and then you guys have a wonderful night. So I will see you all live again on Friday, and I'll probably be working on the Xeno again. More than likely be working on the Xeno because I'm trying to get that finished. But yeah, no, I'll see you guys then. So Instagram, thank you guys so much. You have a wonderful night, and we will talk to you soon. End live. All right, YouTube. Thank you guys so much for watching tonight. Thank you so much for hanging out as always. I appreciate you. We're getting ever so closer to that partner goal, so we're getting there. I will see you guys live on Friday as well, and you have a wonderful week. And that ends that stream.